Today on Waza Wednesday, we're going to take a look at a rising punch. This punch is a lot of times more practical for in close combat self-defense. It's a good way to hit an opponent, catch them off guard, but also not telegraph your technique. So instead of bringing the fist up first, which gives my opponent a chance to react, I'm just going to punch straight from the hip or from below the waist this way in an upward motion. So when you're taking a look at this punch, again, you're throwing it from below the waist. I don't want to give my opponent a chance to react to the fact that I'm getting ready to hit him here. So I'm not going to bring my hands up first. The punch is going to start below the waist. It's going to be thrown from the hip, just like any good punch. As the hand comes up, the fist is going to close and torque slightly forward, because that torquing the wrist adds a little extra penetration and power to the punch. So again, turning the hip and driving it up this way. Now, of course, when you first start working this punch, it's okay to get used to the motion of turning your hips and relaxing your arm and bringing it up this way. And that's a good way to feel the power of the punch and to get used to throwing the punch. But eventually, you want to throw it from a more natural position so you're not giving it away. Because obviously, if we're arguing and this situation is escalating, I can't just start turning side to side to build up the power for the punch. So I do at some point need to get used to maybe blading my body off a little bit, being in a protected position, and throwing the punch right from here, not with wind up, but just from this below the waist position straight into a punch. And of course, if you're working it for more self-defense, you want to bring the other hand up just in case. This also brings his attention up, so if I am throwing the punch low as opposed to high, he's going to have a harder time blocking it because he might be looking at this hand, bringing his hands up as well. A lot of fights start with a heated argument, and then all of a sudden someone's throwing a big punch like this. And a lot of times people will do weird things where they get in your face and touch forehead to forehead and all kinds of things. So you might have an idea that this person's getting ready to attack you or getting ready to throw some sort of a strike. And sometimes you may even have to strike first. If you see him reach for something, for example, you may need to throw the strike and not wait to see what he pulls out of his pocket. So again, from here, we're in close. We might be this close. Ideally, I'm going to take a step back and blade off and get a little distance, but maybe he won't allow me. Maybe my back's against something. I may have to throw from right here. So again, with this type of punch, you're not going to wind up, because the second I do this, he's already reacting to the fact the hand's coming up. I just want to throw it in an upward angle from my waist. And again, you can throw it to the body, you can throw it to the chin. And one of the things I do recommend doing anytime you're in this close confrontation situation is, again, blading off a little bit, just to give yourself a little more distance to torque to get power on that punch. But also, I've angled my body so I'm more protected here. And again, I can throw this punch this way or this way, either way. But I'm just coming in at this upward angle this way, torquing my hips and protecting.